Welcome to the podcast. This week we are joined by the lovely Geddy.
Howdy.
We have the fantastic Will
Oh, what up?
and Isaac.
Hey,
No adjective for Isaac.
No, I ran out. I have to.
He's making his debut appearance on the podcast.
Debut appearance, stepping in for the injured Matthew, who couldn't make it, unfortunately. Prior obligations, or something like that.
honored for the chance, Coach.
Excited to have you. Also, missing is Billy doing God knows what. But, I'm sure he's having a blast. So we're going to start with our gaming news for the week for this segment. Isaac, very glad to have you because we're going to talk about Nintendo. And Geddy Will could probably care less. But we've got...
So what's the Nintendo news of the week?
Alright, are you ready for this? Stop me if you heard one. So we've got some great announcements from Nintendo Direct, including Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Splatoon 3. I said stop me if you heard of them.
Oh, well, I've heard of them, yes.
That's why I didn't stop you, sir. keep on going.
Mario Party, is that on there? I did hear about the Mario Kart DLC. Instead of making a new game, they're going to come out with 500,000 new tracks.
So there's 48 new tracks released until the end of 2023. So we've got a year and a half, almost 2 years, lifespan for this DLC. Which also is covered on their... They have a 2-tiered online system. So they have basically their Xbox Live, which is Nintendo Switch Live for $20 a year. Whatever, very basic online capabilities. But they have an upgraded version, which essentially comes with Animal Crossing DLC and a Nintendo 64 emulator that you can play old Nintendo 64 games on.
Yes, sir.
And it goes up... I obviously paid for it because I'm an idiot. But it goes from $20 a year to $50 a year, which is an insane amount of money to pay for what they're offering.
Can't you just download a Nintendo 64 emulator, like, on your computer?
I have one, and I can use it.
But the big news is you can't get one that doesn't work this poorly on a computer.
Also
Yikes.
true. Their library of 10 games or so, which all run at like half the speed they did. It's actually not... So, there's significant input lag. It is a pretty terrible emulator. But the Mario DLC is now included with that second tier, so it gives people an actual reason to subscribe to that second tier.
Is that the only way to get the DLC?
I'm not sure. I'm sure you could just buy it from whatever Nintendo store. But.
Yeah, because if you can't just buy it, then essentially Mario is making you pay $60 or whatever it is.
Mario's...
For 2 years. Yeah, it's making you buy Mario Kart without releasing a Mario Kart.
Mario's got us bent over a barrel.
It'd be pretty sneaky if they did that. I'm trying to look that up now because that's... I don't know, I could see a lot of games going that way.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to get to that pay by the month. Give us $10 every month. And we'll give you games. I don't know. Nintendo's always late to these sort of things, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is their first attempt to sort of go in that direction. But we'll see.
Yeah, you can buy it. You can buy it for $25.
It's pretty solid.
For all 48?
Yeah, all 48 tracks.
That's terrible. And honestly, I make fun of it, but I like that way better than just making it. I don't know how often they make Mario Kart games, honestly. But if Madden would just release updated rosters or something like that, that would be much better.
No, Mario Kart comes out. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's my understanding that these are all just remastered maps too, though. It's not necessarily new maps, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Mario Kart comes out about once every console generation, so technically,
really?
Yeah, about.
So then, what is the number of the current Mario Kart?
Is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is actually a port of a Wii U game that nobody played called Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, we've touched on the Wii U.
The Wii U and its
Ike,
poor.
do you have a Wii U, Ike? Did you ever
I
play on
did
one?
not get a Wii or a Wii U.
Have you ever seen a Wii U in person?
I actually have. The Billy's brothers had one.
Okay. I have not
Ugh.
ever, besides like in a game store, seen somebody have a Wii U before. So I'm surprised you didn't have a Wii, Isaac.
Yeah, I that was the first year that I got into Xbox 360. Was that generation?
Mm. Which
So we didn't really. We're always one console people in my household growing up.
that's fair. I mean, and to be fair, I think Xbox 360 is one of my favorite consoles of all time. It was my
The
first
pinnacle
big
of
boy.
gaming.
Yeah, it was the first big boy for me. I had PS2 and played some PS2 games, but Xbox 360 with Xbox Live and Modern Warfare 3 and Halo Reach
baby.
were just the prime, you know, and even a lot of the single player stuff, you know. But um, so some other uh, interesting things, you know, Nintendo's always behind the curve with like everything pretty much, but they are now getting Portal 1 and 2 ported onto their Nintendo eShop.
Wow.
So you can buy those. Portal 2 is a 2011 game. So that makes Portal 1, I think it's like 2006 or 2007, something like that. Like 15 and a 10-year-old game.
Why not?
2007.
Yeah, why not, I guess. You know, chance for more
Right.
money.
Good game. Portal 1 was at least.
Those
Never
great
played the
games.
second.
Portal 2 was very good, I thought. So what do you
That
guys
was
think?
that was co-op, yeah.
Yeah. 2-player co-op. Wait, is it enticing? Would you consider picking up a Switch for Portal or
No.
I wouldn't
Okay.
consider picking up a Switch for anything. I don't think.
Ooh, harsh.
Well, with Steam Deck, like, I'd rather spend the money on Steam Deck than I would on Switch.
I think the cheapest Steam Deck is around 420, is that right? 429? Maybe a little bit more. But a Switch goes for about 300, the new version 350, so I mean it's the same
Yeah.
ballpark, you know. If you're gonna
I just feel like
with
with Steam Deck, I wouldn't have to pay for games because I already have games.
And it's a much more limited library on the Switch. You know, you don't have the full breadth of whatever Steam has to offer.
Yeah.
Although it just got 2 games deeper because Portal and Portal 2 are Steam games. It's a weird
I mean,
timing
what-
for that to come out on Switch.
Yeah, that and No Man's Sky too, and being another Steam game crossing over.
Yeah, No Man's Sky, a game that released to like the worst reception of all time, and then just over like the time that passed, everybody thought it was okay. They didn't think it was bad anymore. Decent game.
It was alright. I played it a little bit. It had a lot more almost Minecraft-y feel to it than I was expecting.
Mm.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I never played it. Did any of you guys play it besides you again?
It never
Nah, I
went on
didn't play
sale
either.
enough for me to pull the trigger.
Yeah. The reviews just seemed pretty meh. Like okay, very bad at launch, but just sort of okay over the years. So the Steam Deck, Linus Tech Tips did his video on it, so we got a good look. He's very in depth, pretty reliable source when it comes to these sort of things. He gave his 2 cents. He said it was a great price for the competitors in that exact market, which is a handheld PC, which is what the Steam Deck is trying to aim for, I guess, because it's not a Switch or anything, but the price versus the competitors is basically half the price. And in a lot of ways, he said it's a lot better. He said it's the best controller he's ever had. The joysticks and the buttons feel way better than any of the competitors. The screen is nice, and he said the colors go darker, which is a big plus.
Just get more of that contrast. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Count me in.
Yeah. You guys, any thoughts on the Steam Deck? Are you gonna buy one to play?
I'm definitely gonna buy one.
You already have 2 on order, don't you, Willie?
Yeah, some sucker's gonna pay me $25,000 for the other one.
Well, see, this sucker only pre-ordered the expensive one, so I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Uh-huh.
We'll see. We'll see.
So when are they out?
Begin shipping February, so sometime this month is that when they begin. Mine, um, expected order availability is after Q2.
Same.
After Q2.
So what is that? April, May, June? I
Yeah.
guess.
Sometime in June. So hopefully sometime this year. I don't know. With all the pushbacks and delays we've had, I don't expect anything on time anymore. So, but hopefully soon.
I mean, all things considered, though, like I reserved mine July 16th, 2021. So that's basically around when they announced this thing, as far as I know. And less than a year, and they're getting them in people's hands. That's pretty good for right now.
It seems like the shortage is affecting GPUs really, really heavy, but not so much CPUs. I could be wrong about
There's
that.
not a 3090 in this thing?
Not quite.
Oh, no.
Take
Cancel
it back.
reservation.
Yep.
You could always take it apart and sell the 3090.
I was planning on being able to mobily mine with this thing.
Maybe you don't sell it, and maybe you just have your own personal Steam Deck mining rig
There we go.
to build your empire.
That would be something else.
It's like that
I'm
guy.
sure if you could do it, Billy and Isaac would be all over it.
There was a guy who used PS2s or something, right? He had like 100 and
Jeez.
whatever, maybe 1,000 PlayStation 2s. He jerry rigged together and mined Bitcoin.
Wow.
I actually just got an article today, a couple minutes ago, about a guy who would bring shipping containers to oil rigs when they had to burn off some natural gas, and he would turn that burn off into electricity to power his rigs, and made $4 million on Bitcoin.
Wow.
Just a quick Google of the PS2 thing. I don't know if this is accurate or not, but to mine one Bitcoin, 265 million years.
Well,
For one.
One.
so, well,
So he had 265 million PS2s for one Bitcoin in a year. Is that what we're looking at?
that's not outlandish to assume there's 265 million PS2s in existence. Maybe he has all of them. I don't know where mine is anymore. Maybe he's got it.
The electricity on that would be
Oh
insane.
All for the precious Bitcoin. Some things with the Steam Deck I'm personally worried about is how quickly it's going to get outdated. I just don't know with GPUs and CPUs and PC games. PC games are always the ones that are pushing that frontier as far as graphics go, and I just don't know how it's going to hold up. I feel like this generation is really bridging the gap between like distinct lines in console generations and sort of one company having their system that's just going to be until the end of time. It's like the Xbox One went from the One S to the One X, and then there's a Series S and Series X, so it's getting like very, PS4 to PS5 obviously is like the line, but we've got PS4 to PS4 Pro. So I don't know if we're ever going to see like just the PlayStation, like will it end at PS6 and that's the end of it, or?
And then it'll be just upgradable amongst itself, or like
weren't there talks about
done?
Weren't there talks about the Xbox being, or is the new Xbox, like, can you upgrade it? I thought at one point there were talks. You can?
Definitely hard drives.
Fairly sure, yep.
Just hard drives, like nothing else?
I'm pretty sure, well...
Graphics is a
I don't know
CPU architecture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it was fully upgradable, is what I thought a while ago, but obviously I don't have one, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. And as far as like the Steam Deck getting outdated, that probably is the case. But I don't know. I just like for the games that personally that I would be playing on it. Like I'm not going to be playing. Jeez, I can't even think of it.
Steampunk or Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, you're not going to be playing Elden Ring or anything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to be playing that on this. I'm going to be playing it on my nice monitors. So I don't know.
That's true. I think that is the target use case. It's a switch for Steam library. You're not playing the nicest looking games or the newest necessarily, but you're able to play mobile games mobilely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and apparently a lot of these games are getting very good, like controller support. So that's going to be good. That's another thing I was worried about, but I looked into it, and it seems like most games have very good controller support. Because obviously, if you have a Steam Deck, the mouse and keyboard is out of the question. So,
I don't think I can think of a game that I've tried to play on Steam that I've been like, oh wow, this really sucks for the controller.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
I was just thinking more like Dragon Age type games, or I guess those are like very unique scenarios. But like,
yeah, even some of those, aren't there like community ones? Like ones, I don't know how that would like cross over, but you can get like a community made controller setup for those games.
Yeah, and in theory that should be the case, because I mean the Steam Deck is just like a PC but shrunk down, and it's just the Steam library happens to be very accessible and very built into it. But
do we know if there's like I assume there's a headphone jack, but is there like, could I use a mic?
I believe it has Bluetooth, doesn't it?
Yeah, it should have Bluetooth. Or something. The Switch does not
like
have
Bluetooth. Could I join a chat and talk with everybody on a Steam Deck? I don't know.
These are all questions I'm sure have answers. I'm just not sure. It says here we've got a micro SD, USB 2.0 and 3.1, HDMI display port. Looks like 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, a gyro sensor. I'm not seeing anything else. So. I don't know. Maybe even no headphone jack.
There's a headphone jack. I'm sitting here looking at one. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Oh, well, we'll see. April, May, June. I'll let y'all know.
Yeah.
Actually, when I make my millions selling my other one, I probably won't even talk to you guys.
Gotcha. Well, until then, it was nice knowing you.
I'll be too busy farming, mining.
I'm trying to buy out those PS2s.
Yes. Hey, gonna keep mine locked up. So yeah, Steam Deck, very cool. I don't know if I'm gonna get one. I feel like my Switch personally scratches that itch for me of being able to play games in bed, and I have the full Switch, but I never play in dock mode. It's literally, the dock isn't even connected to a TV, it's just a charging stand. So it might as well be a Game Boy.
Yep, that's the same for me.
Yeah. Strictly mobile. You guys
Actually, fun fact, it does have Bluetooth in it.
The Switch does?
It does, yeah. That's actually how the controllers connect, but they kept it locked behind their user interface and didn't let anyone access it until an update. I feel like it was like 6 or 8 months ago. But now you can connect Bluetooth headphones natively.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I stand corrected. But
well, so then if that has it, then surely the Steam Deck will have that. I don't think that they would not do that.
Yeah.
No. How do you guys feel about talking about Battlefield?
Let's do it.
We touched on it a little bit last time.
The only game worse than Halo Infinite. Let's go.
The only game worse than Halo Infinite is Battlefield. So, obviously released to awful bugs and terrible reception. And it's gotten so bad that there is a change.org petition. That is.
This is 2042, yeah?
Battlefield 2042.
Okay.
released just in the past couple months.
Yep.
Change.org petition. Somebody has now, as of February 12th, 2022, has received 160,000 signatures asking for a refund in full for the game because it was so bad.
Wow.
Can you guys remember the last time a game was that bad at launch? I mean, there have been a few, but
I feel like we had already mentioned it earlier. Cyberpunk was rough on launch.
Cyberpunk was rough, and I think there even were some refund talks, but
No, there were full refunds on consoles, weren't there?
Yes,
Is that
because they didn't function on the last generation of consoles.
like the Xbox One, PS4.
Yep, that's similar issues to what's going on here. The only difference is CD Projekt Red is a decent company and EA is not. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna say another, at least, example that pops in my head is a Battlefront, like the Star Wars. Online multiplayer game.
The first one or the second one, I can't remember which.
I can't remember which one, but it was
surprise, another EA.
Yeah, very very bad, buggy. The lobbies weren't working. Terrible servers and overall bad experience for the people. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think anything's going to happen, but the filer of the Change.org petition said that once he reached 50,000 signatures, he was going to look into contacting a lawyer about a class action lawsuit against EA, which I think is pretty hilarious. But it would be
good
awesome.
luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, right, but it would be hilarious, but ultimately probably not very fruitful endeavor.
Yeah. Well, from what I have heard about it, like even the beta that was released was infinitely better than the game in terms of like how the game actually played. Now there's just an overwhelming amount of like changes that they made that they didn't really have a reason for making, like almost infinite vehicle spawns, so everybody's in vehicles. Like none of the stuff that was advertised in the trailer was remotely accurate, so it's like
they got rid of the in-game and after-game scoreboard.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, you do. There is no way of telling if you won outside of feel. You don't know how well you did. You don't have your KD. You have nothing.
That is stupid.
I'm stunned. Like,
yes,
how can you be a modern shooter and not let the frickin' nerds like us keep track of our stats?
Yeah, I mean, Halo.
That's baffling.
Halo Infinite, in the same sort of vein, you can't track like lifetime stats.
Really?
I
tried
to look them up. I couldn't find them anywhere, and I looked online.
Halo Waypoint?
I don't even know if Halo Waypoint works for Infinite. I haven't looked at it, but you can look everywhere on your own profile and somebody else's profile, and you can't find lifetime KDA or stuff like that anywhere. I couldn't.
Wow.
Maybe I'm just an idiot, but very potentially the case. But in other video game lawsuit history, there has been there was no lawsuit filed, but there were over 90 complaints made to Nintendo back in the early 2000s about the Mario Party games. The games, some of the mini games required you to spin the control stick in your hand.
Yes, I
remember their palms on the controller, and a lot of people, I guess, injured their hands spinning that hard plastic in their hands.
These are your people, like.
I don't know how you could do that.
It says here, since it was an estimated 1.2 million users had the game, Nintendo had to send hand-protecting gloves to every owner of the game, and expenses up to $80 million.
Oh my god!
For the gloves,
wow.
shipping, and sure. All of
it seems like Nintendo ends up always getting hit by something weird, like a lawsuit that actually has action to it, like the weird protective glove, or with the Switch, how the joysticks, the drift was like it would happen way too fast,
Yeah.
and they got hit by a class action lawsuit and had to replace anyone's joysticks for free if you shipped it in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Joy-Cons were notoriously bad for drift. Yeah. Even within like the first year, they had a crazy high failure rate. So.
Are we just talking like the controller sway where your
Mhm.
joystick is stuck in a
Yeah.
like moving? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. So there's a class action lawsuit for that as well, I suppose.
Jeez.
Yeah, not a good place you want to be. Not sure what it is with Nintendo and this happening to them repeatedly, but I guess it is what it is. I don't know. All right, on to more news. Activision has gone on record in saying that they will try to continue to support the Activision games for Sony users in the future. So, to go further upon their initial statement, where they were saying they agreed to put out the games upon the agreements, like with Activision and Sony as they were, they're saying that now into the future they plan on working with Sony with Activision games.
Yeah, this is Microsoft saying this, right?
This is Microsoft,
is allowing Activision to be on other consoles.
Right.
Good for them.
Yeah, that's a step further than what I mean. The way the first initial wave read was, it's currently going to be supported, but not in the future. So they've gone outright and said we plan on supporting Sony in the future with Activision titles. So I guess it may not be as game changing as everybody thought it was going to be. Yeah.
I mean, they still needed to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is good to have a console exclusive, especially something as big as Call of Duty, but is it worth more to them to have the exclusive or to have it sell on twice the amount of consoles?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like the money that you're making just by having an exclusive, like how many PlayStation players are there? And even if you're not getting the full amount per purchase, the sheer volume that you'd get has to make it worth it.
And I mean, Call of Duty remains like very high selling on like old consoles, you know. Like it was selling on Xbox 360 way into the Xbox One lifespan, so
right.
I can only assume there's 100 million PS4s out there, so until those people get their hands on a PS5, which some of them won't even try to, you know, for the next however many years, so the price goes down. That's a huge market of people.
But like my thoughts are like if there ever was an exclusive that would get people to buy your console, it would be Call of Duty. I think like I feel like that's the game to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But good for Microsoft, I think.
Yeah. You know, I think the competition's good, so I don't know. I mean, Microsoft is like, you know, definitely feels like heavily number 2 in this scenario, but I don't know. I don't know where the future is for them. If it's really going to be against Apple and Google like they said it was, or if, you know, Sony's going to continue being the console beast that it is right now. It's hard to tell right now. So they did announce a sequel. The next Call of Duty game is going to be a sequel to the original Modern Warfare. Or sorry, not the original Modern Warfare. The remake in 2019. As well as updates to Warzone. They said in this new game that they announced, the sequel to the 2019 Modern Warfare, it's going to include a Battle Royale mode, which is going to essentially eliminate the Warzone. And it says it's going to have a massive evolution of the Battle Royale gameplay. So what do you guys think of that? What could that be?
I don't really know. I feel like that's promising a lot because Battle Royale seems to be as simple as it can be. Like it's a very simple concept. So I don't know how much you can change that without changing the Battle Royale aspect of it.
Yeah. You guys, any thoughts?
I mean, I have no idea. No clue.
I don't play battle royales very much. I've just started playing Apex just a little bit, and I'm terrible. I I don't even know how they would change it. Like Eddie's saying, it's a pretty basic
Yeah.
concept. It's narrowed down to you know you know what you're getting when you play a battle royale.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also interesting that they're willing to make those changes when they already have a functioning version of that game, like a battle royale.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Warzone is huge.
Yeah. So why are they trying to put themselves out of business?
A lot of
Right.
questions. I'm not sure.
Is this Microsoft? Do we think Microsoft is making I don't know how much pull Microsoft now has with Activision. Like,
Mhm.
are they going through and like, hey, let's change this, and this? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably hard to tell unless you're at this point like somebody inside the business that knows. But I don't know. I think like time will tell how these games play
Is
out.
there an ETA on that? Do you know? Is that just their next release?
Probably next
Going to be their
November.
next release product?
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably advertised during the NBA Finals and then released. Yeah, in November,
For the holidays.
as they do, like clockwork. But we'll see. I don't know. I haven't played Call of Duty really since like Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, but everybody loves Call of Duty, and everybody's gonna buy it. So, but I don't know. With when we went from I think it was Black Ops 2 to Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts was a big miss for me. I'm sure I don't know how everybody feels about it, but ever since then I just couldn't even be bothered to really buy the new Call of Duty.
That's what killed it for all of us.
Oh, it was dead to me ages ago.
Yeah. You were just terrible at it.
That doesn't help.
Doesn't help, but Call of Duty seems to be like withstanding the test of time. That does. I think they're up to something like 24 or 25 main series games now. So
That's wild.
I mean, they're like
Know when to put the dead dog down.
Yeah.
Things a goner. Just
Is that the longest running series like that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
that could be longer.
Assassin's Creed's got a bunch, not that many though.
That's the one I went to as far as like competitors. I don't think Assassin's Creed is really that close.
They're probably at like 10 or 15.
Nah, they're more than that.
Yeah, including like
I'd say push. 15 to 20. I'd say probably.
probably one a year since like 2007 or so. Assassin's Creed. 1 was
main
2006 or
games,
7.
17 spin-offs, and several short films, apparently.
How many main games?
12.
12. That's not bad. 17.
I mean,
spin-offs? That's pretty
obviously,
good.
there's the Madden games, sports games.
Oh, that's a fair point. Those are really comparable, too, because it's never a big gameplay shift like in Call of Duty. It's just small upgrades like Call of Duty.
Rosters.
I don't even know if there are small upgrades anymore. I think it's just rosters really.
Same game, different cover.
Different cover. I mean the graphics are even the same now. It seems like.
Yep.
All right, you guys want to play video game 20 questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Was it going to be new to you? This is something I stole literally straight from another podcast. So hopefully they don't sue because we have no money. But I've come up with a video
They'll
game.
sue you for your PS2, so they
That's
can
not what
go
it
mining.
Gosh, just feeding the big dogs now. So I came up with a video game, totally independent of you three, and you guys have 20 questions to narrow it down and figure out what it is. So some ground rules, real quick. I didn't pick anything insane. I tried to be fair. I also, in my answering, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna try my best not to give any hints, but I'm also not gonna try to be tricky or deceptive in any way. Try to be in spirit of the game. So
Seems fair. Fair play.
fair play. All right. If you guys don't have any other questions, you can go ahead.
Lead us off, Ged.
Okie dokie. Team game, right? We're not going individual.
I
I
think
was asking, I was wondering, is this like you said, lead them off? Is this are we gonna go one by one? Like
Yeah, that's how we have done it.
in my
It's
head,
just
Alright.
one question at a time. Each person gets a question.
yeah, it's a team game, but you just go down the row. So, and you don't have to.
Is there any way you
it's
can see
however you guys want.
my? Is there any way you can see my library? Like my
Yeah.
Steam library.
Your Steam library? I can try.
That's a little dirty.
Yeah, it's a little dirty, but
Which is dirty question.
I mean, asking,
Potentially.
hey, is this on my Steam library? And making Colton go through it.
Okay, fine. Is it a first-person game?
Is it a first-person game?
Like, are you in first-person perspective?
Yes.
Like,
Is it a console exclusive?
It is not a console exclusive.
is it a shooter?
It is a shooter.
We're going 20 questions, yeah.
It's 3.
So, here's the question that I'm kind of wanting to go. I just don't know. With all the spin-offs of Call of Duty, if I ask if it's a realistic game, I know there's some jank stuff in Call of Duty that's like not realistic, but I'm trying to differentiate it from other like Halo games. You know what I'm saying?
Not fantasy.
Yeah, I guess can I do that? Is it? Yeah. So is it a fantasy game?
Is it a fantasy game?
Yep. Like not based in reality.
In the way you're describing it. I wouldn't call it a fantasy game, but it's. But based on your description, I would say yes.
Yes, it is a fantasy game.
The way you're phrasing the question, yes.
Great. I should have phrased it better, I guess.
Oh shoot.
This is tough.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from here. Do we think that asking if it's a modern game is important?
I think getting the what generation
Timeframe.
it came out on is very important.
Isn't
So-
or is?
Is very important.
How
Do we
would
have-
you phrase this? Before the Xbox One, or
Do we have a timetable that you won't go further back then?
Yeah, I'm
No.
not. I wouldn't with you guys especially. I wouldn't go like pre PlayStation 2,
Okay.
pre Xbox.
We got tons of more questions. We can just narrow it down.
okay? Is this on the Xbox One or later?
Nope.
Oh, I mean that doesn't mean it couldn't be on PlayStation, correct?
No, I took that as in like the generations.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So it was not on Xbox One or later.
Correct.
Okay. Was it the 360s cycle generation?
Yes.
Okay.
6 questions. 14 left.
Jeez, I don't know. I don't even know. Okay.
You do have 14 questions to play around with, so
Yeah, we got it done.
So,
you guys aren't in bad shape right now, I would say.
graphically speaking, is it intended to be animated? Like, was it supposed to be like good graphics at the time, or was it purposefully animated? So, was it purposefully animated?
Was it purposefully animated? I would say no.
Like Apex would be purposefully animated, so it's trying to have good graphics. Nice.
Is
I'm just
Hold on,
terribly
hold on, hold
confused
on.
by Getty's last 2 questions.
Hold on. I thought I understood the question, and now I don't think I do.
Okay, so like Apex, the graphics are supposed to be animated. It's not supposed to be an attempt at realism.
like
Okay.
cartoon-esque.
Yes.
Right.
So I asked if this game was like Apex in that way.
Are you asking if it's cartoonish then, essentially?
Yes.
It is not cartoonish.
Okay.
Is it a Tom Clancy game?
It is not a Tom Clancy game.
Because it's supposed to be
Fantasy.
fantasy-esque.
Oh, duh, my bad.
Yeah.
And then Getty's question knocks out Borderlands.
Yep.
Jeez.
So I mean, Halos are still there.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have stumbled on the answer
To which?
to your what, to
Well, he didn't understand my question. I don't think.
your futuristic one.
Oh,
Or your
okay. Yeah. Based in reality or whatever.
I mean, I don't know very many shooters that aren't sci-fi or so sci-fi doesn't really help. Is it sci-fi?
Yeah, it's sci-fi.
Did we determine for sure that it's a shooter? Did we say
Yes,
shooter?
it is a
Okay.
shooter.
Yeah, we'll ask that.
Okay. And so it's a sci-fi shooter.
I would call it a sci-fi game, yeah.
Should we find out if it's multiplayer?
That will help.
That's a good one. It's me. Thank you, Isaac. Is it a multiplayer game?
It is not a multiplayer game.
Wow.
Oh, Lord, that changes how I'm thinking.
Were the Dead Space? Is that what those were called? Were those first
Yeah.
person?
No, they were third.
Okay.
Is it intelligent to ask if any of us played it significantly to his knowledge?
That would help as well.
Let's go with that, Colton.
Yes, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Ooh,
Wow.
hello.
Almost assuredly. In my memory.
Okay. Is it? Let's see. Xbox 360, right?
Yeah.
Is it Halo 3? Or is it a Halo game? How about that? Is it a Halo?
It's not multiplayer.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
shoot.
multiplayer. Well,
Oh, that's a waste of
Are
question.
you sure you want to ask that, Will?
I did.
oh come
Fairness,
on.
in the fairness
Take
of
it
the
back.
game. In the fairness of the game, Colton's helping us out.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
he put up with your 2 questions. You can put up with one of
So
mine.
I'll count Will's question, but that puts you up to 12. So you have 8 questions left.
Jeez.
Oh, we're still good.
Okay. We're optimist.
Now, what did I play back then?
What was the answer to the cartoonish graphics? No. Right?
Yeah, I said it was not cartoonish.
Okay.
And then
What
we
did you
decided
ask,
it.
Ike? Did you ask if we played it or
Yes,
I played
if
it?
one
Any
of
of us. Any of
if
us.
one of us 3.
Golly.
I don't feel like I played it. Oh, and you asked if it was Halo related, but that was multiplayer.
Right.
Yep.
Is it part of a series?
Is it part of a series? Yes. I would just like to say that the podcast that I watch that does this segment, it's called Game Scoop. It's an IGN podcast. You guys are asking almost like the exact same sort of questions that they ask. Is very like uncanny, even the way you guys ask them.
Nice, nice.
You know,
Did they get it right though?
they got a pretty. They're about
They-
8.
Wait, you mean to tell me they ask questions like Getty?
All right,
Yes.
listen, barring one outlier, you guys are great. They have like a 70 to 80%, I think,
Wow.
success rate on theirs.
Yeesh.
So they're all like industry, like video game people too. So
I'm kind of floundering here. Do we have any?
I'm
Thoughts?
struggling.
Also, is it taboo to look up games from that time frame?
Yes.
I figured as much.
The fact that it's not multiplayer and it's in a series is what's weird.
Not multiplayer. It's a series. Cartoonish graphics.
No, real.
Real graphics.
Oh, then my question about Tom Clancy wasn't terrible, was it?
N- I
Oh,
don't know.
boy.
Doesn't matter. Let's just.
I've been thinking cartoon the whole time. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Where do we go from here? Can I pass my
No.
question off?
It seems like nobody's willing to accept
Oh, boys, I think I might know.
Go for it, Ged. Go for it.
Yep.
Okay, so is it in the Fallout series?
it. Is it in the Fallout series?
Mm,
Nice.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Nice
so
work.
Fallout
we're
3.
thinking
Nice work,
Fallout
Geddy. Yep. That's where good.
It is Fallout 3. Good job.
I have
Well
never
done.
played that game.
Will, do you play
Will
Fallout?
I
definitely has.
definitely played it, and I
Yep.
definitely forgot about Fallout.
Yeah, I remembered you being a big fan of that game, and you're the reason I played it, and I love
Yeah.
Fallout 3.
All three fantastic.
New Vegas,
good.
I never played.
Not as good.
Not as good. That's what I
Fallout 4, okay. Fallout
it's-
76, never played.
It seems to just be getting worse, doesn't it? Every time.
Well, that was fun. That was a good one.
Yep, you guys were struggling
So-
there for a little bit, but
We
Yes,
got
pull
it.
it out.
We got it.
congratulations. Billy joining the party. What's up, Billy?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, your
Just
cohorts.
missed out on some 20 questions.
Yep.
Oh no.
It's a good one, too.
Oh yeah?
Geddy redeemed himself completely. You'll have to listen to the podcast to find out.
Sweet.
Guaranteed one view.
One
Hey,
view.
there you go.
That'll be good for us. That's one up from last time.
Nice.
All right. Well, with that, I'm actually Billy. If you want to say hi, we're about to end the gaming portion. But if you want to stick around for the sports section, you're more than welcome.
I'll stick around.
All right, sounds
But,
good.
Yeah.
All right. This has been the podcast of gaming, I guess. I don't know. We'll come up with a better name.
Geddy